Welcome to the Curry House. The Curry House is an educational display, but it's also a great place to grow plants. These plants are all the powders and seeds that are in your spice cupboard, but here you get to see the plants. Many people have never seen plants like this in their natural environment because these are all exotic plants. They grow in hot places. Thanks to having a greenhouse, we're able to show them to you today. A lovely green plant here is a ginger, Zingiber officinale. We cultivated this by going to Sainsbury's, buying a little piece of ginger root and shoving it in the soil, and up come these beautiful gingery spikes, and you can see at the base here there are the new rhizomes developing. In a couple of weeks we're going to be digging this up and using it to cook our curries for the Curry House Day. In this container we have cardamom. Cardamom is an absolutely essential spice in curries all over the Asian countries. This is the third most expensive spice that is produced in the world because it doesn't flower until third or fourth year. It's going to be quite a bit bigger in next year and the year after, and the flowers then produce the pods in which the cardamom seeds are situated, and they're gathered by hand and processed by natural drying. We've got this year, but it's not going to produce any flowers, but it will in years to come. Just behind it is another sort of cardamom. This is the black cardamom. And this cardamom also produces seed pods, but whilst the seeds on the green cardamom appear from flowers that come out of the top of the flower spike, these produce flowers right at the base. You've got to be very observant to find them, but they produce a black cardamom which is coarser than cardamom but very important in Nepali and northern Indian cuisine. Curcuma longa is better known by its common name turmeric, and this is again a very important spice plant but also an important dye plant. Whenever you see Nepalese or Bhutanese monks in those orange robes, those robes have been produced by dyeing with the turmeric rhizomes. So the piece that you eat is, like in the ginger, is the root or rhizome. They're not quite as big as ginger rhizomes, but they're still very, very useful and important. And they're dug up in the autumn, and the rhizomes dried and then crushed and then powdered into that yellow powder that you and I know as turmeric. There you can see a tiny rhizome with its root and with this little shoot. And again, we bought these not at Sainsbury's because they don't sell fresh turmeric, but we bought these in Brixton Market where there's a great deal of demand for fresh turmeric. And this is how we grow them. We put them in very shallow trays like this, and then they need a source of heat. So the source of heat that we used for these ones was my airing cupboard. As they spent a month in my airing cupboard, and they begin to produce little shoots like this, and then we grow them on in slightly larger pots until they're just strong enough to stand on their own, and then you can plant them in as large a pot as you can possibly find so that the rhizomes have plenty of space to expand. A lot of people think that curries are confined to India and Nepal and Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, but they're not. The curries push further to the east, all the way down Southeast Asian Peninsula into Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos and Vietnam. This here is a macrut lime. Macrut lime has the most interesting leaf. Look how It's a double leaf. But the most interesting thing about this leaf is that this is the reason why green Thai curry paste is green. These leaves are diced and then pulverized in a pestle and mortar into the paste that you would buy in your local supermarket as green Thai curry paste, but don't buy it in your local supermarket, grow yourself a mackerel lime. This is the most magnificent thing, aromatic, delicious. It's not generally known that rice doesn't come in packets. Rice is a grass. Uncle Ben has nothing to do with it. This rice is a European rice, a long grain rice, whereas the rice in front is a Japanese rice, a short grain sticky rice. Both of these rices were originally grown from seeds that we acquired from Sainsbury's. We bought long grain red wild rice, threw it in our little paddy, and up comes this wonderful grass, which in a few weeks' time will be flowering, and the seeds of those grass flowers produce your rice for tonight's curry. This is some Persicario odorata, but you can call it Vietnamese coriander, except it's not a coriander. Actually, it's not in any of the traditional herby families. Persicarias are quite often grown as ornamental plants, but this is the essence for me of Vietnamese Southeast Asian cooking. The taste of this is like sailing down the Mekong Delta. You smell fires either side, the cooking fires either side of the river, and you know that when you land, first thing you're going to be served is a beautiful, fresh, salady wrap. And most of the things that are wrapped up inside are this. It's absolutely delicious and aromatic, but unlike many of the spices that we have looked at today, this is an important ingredient in all sorts of Southeast Asian foods, and what differentiates those Southeast Asian foods from some of those that are available further west in India and Nepal and Afghanistan. We grow a very wide variety of chilies because there are a very wide variety of tastes in the greenhouse. Some of them are really very mild. You can see that there are some sweet peppers here. And these are ripening, these will go red shortly. Some of them are slightly hotter and more traditionally chili shaped, and some of them are very hot indeed. Chili's very late this year, and that's because we had a mouse attack. Our chilies were about an inch high, and suddenly, overnight, they were all nipped off at the top. So it's a little known fact that mice like chilies. However, we decided that they were more important to us, so we reseeded them, and you can see that they're now coming to fruition. Some fantastic shapes, look, really, really lovely. And some more traditional ones. This is a long, slim red. This is a pretty hot chili. And as we go further down, you can see this unusual little beast. This is not a chili you see very much in the UK. This is a Chilean or Bolivian chili called a locoto or rotoco, and the chili is actually chili capsicum pubescens. You can see that the leaves are hairy on the top, which the leaves of those other chilies are not. But this is also a racy little number, and guaranteed to raise the heart. You can see that some chilies go down and some chilies grow up. These tiny little chilies nevertheless pack a mean punch, and we're waiting for all these to go nice and red when you'll be able to put them in your chilies. Have been highly hybridized in order to deliver different heat sensations and different taste sensations. Some chilies are very fruity, whereas other chilies are really quite dry and hot. People have different preferences, and we welcome all sorts here at the garden. So you can see this is ripening. This is Etna. This is a pretty hot chili, but some of them are not hot yet. These lovely green ones are just developing their heat. They're still good to eat, and you could harvest them green like this if you wanted, but if you want the real Etna experience, then you need to wait until they're bright red and soft. So this is ripe. We're ready to have this.
Okay, good.
Let's take it, shall we?
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful, sweet, full of flavour, ripened in our own greenhouse. This is called Bounty. It's a quite old variety, hybridized for production of these lovely sweet peppers, and we think this rivals anything you can get in a supermarket anywhere. We're pretty pleased with this, actually. Okra are hard to grow in the UK, even in a greenhouse. Last year we produced 3 okras from 3 plants. So as you can see, this year we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one coming, 5 on this plant. And we're really quite proud that we've managed to get them this far. Will they be good to eat? I think they might be a bit woody actually at this size, but we're really pleased that we've been able to cultivate them, and we're going to try next year with even more okras, keeping them slightly smaller than this one, trying to produce something that we can put in our food. This is okra jambalaya. The jambalaya are towards the end of the Mississippi Delta, and I feel certain that Native Americans have been eating these for a long time.